you run a gym and you want predictable lead flow, not luck, not hope, not seasonal spikes, but actual consistent leads every single week, then this video is going to be a turning point for you, because I'm going to break down the 3-pillar lead gen system that we install inside of every single gym that routinely brings in 30, 40, even 60 new members every single month without you having to do challenges, discounts, or utilizing complicated funnels. Now, this system works even if your organic content is inconsistent, even if you've never run ads before, and even if you're starting from scratch. And the best part, you can copy these pillars exactly as I lay them out today. And by the end of the video, you'll have a clear step-by-step roadmap to generating more leads in the next 30 days than you have had in the last 3 to 6 months combined. Let's dive in. So here's what we're going to be covering today. First, I'm going to cover the 2 core reasons why most gyms struggle with lead flow and why it has nothing to do with your market or your competition. Second, I'm going to cover the 3-part lead gen system, which is paid ads for volume, organic content for authority, and the third one, which is honestly, I don't normally do, but you can. A ton of our members do it with success, which is community partnerships for high quality leads. And the third thing that we'll cover is I'll give you the exact scripts, templates, and posting strategy that you can use to generate 20, 40, 50, 70 new leads this week alone. And at the end of this video, I will show you a just really simple thing that you can do in just 48 hours to just get a huge surge of leads that will give you just like instant momentum in your gym or studio. So here's the first thing that we're going to cover: why most gyms struggle with lead flow. Now, before we get into the pillars, you need to understand why most gyms don't consistently generate leads. Because if you do not fix the root problem, then no fucking strategy is going to work long term. Reason number 1 is you have no consistent visibility. People do not know that your gym or studio exists, period. You have no attention whatsoever that your business is here serving your community. Posting randomly creates random awareness. Never running ads makes sure that you stay on an island of just you. Because if people don't see you, they don't think about you. And if they don't think about you, then they do not inquire to join your gym. Now, here's reason number 2, which is a little counterintuitive to a lot of what I will tell people. In the beginning, you want to rely on just one channel. But if your only channel is organic, yeah, that's going to take way too freaking long. If it's only referrals, that's just 100% unpredictable. If it's only going out into community partnerships, then shoot me in the freaking face, because that is a lot of time where I have to go to people instead of having people come to me. Now, in the beginning, we want you to hammer ads. But if you only do ads, then when your ads slow down, your lead flow slows down. If all of a sudden your ad account gets banned, you're completely screwed. If you don't have multiple offers, then good luck when that offer burns out. So what we want to have is multiple channels in order to generate leads every single month. In fact, I do want about 5 to 10 different sources for new clients on a monthly basis. And the third reason the gyms struggle with their lead flow is, frankly, there's just no volume. I don't care if you have the highest quality leads. If you get 5, then you cannot grow. Now, if you have 1,000 and they all suck and they're just emails, then yeah, that's a whole other issue, but that's an easy fix. But you can't wait for your leads to come to you instead of you then going engineering and creating those leads and having these people come to you just in freaking droves. So if that's not happening for you, if you're not having leads come to you in droves and you have multiple sources to generate those leads, then cool. Let's fix that. We'll start with pillar number 1, which is paid ads. This is going to be what gives you volume. And if you've struggled using paid ads on Meta, by the way, before, which is like the primo source for getting new traffic, then it's not that Meta doesn't work. It's what you're doing doesn't work. Because if you want consistent, predictable, scalable lead flow, then you're not going to get that with freaking hope. You do that with ads, but not complicated funnels. You don't have to run webinars. You don't have to run VSLs. You probably don't even know what the hell that is anyway. And you definitely don't have to do challenges to make this happen. Instead, what you need is just really simple direct response ads that bring people in who want the help that you're delivering. They have the problems that you can solve. They have the goals that you can help them achieve. That's what we want to do, is we want to have simple ads that bring them in to your gym. When it actually comes to running ads, there's a few types of ads that we do want every gym owner running, because most of the time when I take a look at gym owners' ads, like, it's just absolutely trash. Now, the first thing that I want to have, this is going to be your bread and butter. This is like going to be my direct offer, my outcome-based ads. I actually like to go simple. I send it just to a Facebook lead form. Over time, like, we just analyze whether it's a lead form or sending it to a landing page. The overall conversion from lead to sale is the same, but the lead form is going to give you more volume. Now, this is a little bit different. This is local lead gen. If I was going national, I would absolutely go to a landing page. But locally, what we've actually found is it just really drives up lead costs significantly. We do, though, that being said, there are some of our members that we do run to landing pages, but every single person, we're going to start with just a really simple lead form. Then, depending on the quality of the leads coming in, there's plenty of things that we can do to increase volume. There could be stuff from adding friction into the funnel, but generally speaking, it's what you're actually putting in your ad that's going to make the difference between quality leads and just a volume of leads. So what we want to make sure that we're doing with those ads is we want to have that simple offer. Then we want to make sure that we're actually using videos and not videos of people working out. Nobody gives a shit about that. And not just images. We want to have a combination of images and videos, but the right videos that create an emotional connection with your ideal client. Now, this kind of a direct offer ad, this is really going to go after the people that are looking like that are going to be the buyers quickly. Now, the cool thing is this is going to give you volume and it's going to help you get the people that are ready now. Or if you have a really killer offer, you're solving a problem, like it's going to bring people into your ecosystem that will buy later, by the way, which is really, really important. And just for context, running ads, just accept that 10% of the leads that you generate are going to be absolute dog shit. They're going to be trash. It's going to be the person that opts in. They're like, I didn't opt in. It's like, yo, dude, how the hell do you think I got your information? Your Aunt Sally telling you that you're fat and they're opting you in? No, you opted in. You just don't want to admit it. But anyway, that's really going to be like the core structure. That's what we want to do. Now, with these direct offer ads too, I can actually use it based on the copy and the message that I'm using to create a blue ocean by making sure that I'm not just speaking to the same pocket of people that all of my competition is doing. This is a huge mistake that a lot of gym owners make, and it's why their ads absolutely suck outside of the ads themselves just absolutely sucking. Like, take a look at your ads. If they don't go hell yeah to you, then your clients and leads aren't coming in being like, your ads actually spoke to me, then that means your ads aren't very good. Anyway, I can create a blue ocean by making sure my messaging really kind of speaks to different levels of awareness, different pockets of my market, and all the good stuff. Speaking of different pockets of my market, the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm using proof ads in my actual advertising on Meta. Think about this as like your transformations, your case studies, your testimonials, like the before and after transformation stories. You can even sneak in photos right now, screenshots and shit like that of actual client member successes. But this is like the person that sees your ads, like they want to see people like them. Little caveat here. People don't buy to get more of the same. What they want to buy, like we used to run way back in the day, ads in my gym were just like pretty much like, frankly, a hot chick in a bikini. Like those crushed for a period of time. Hate me if you want, but they absolutely murdered. Or it was like me when I was super jacked and I had a wicked pump and it was like a selfie. That photo ran forever and they absolutely crushed. But like my members would come in and we helped people like really change their life through weight loss inside of my gyms. And they come in and be like, hey, this ad that I see doesn't look like me. Like blah, 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 all that bullshit. I'm like, you legitimately came in because of that ad. So we do want to make sure their ads have some level of aspiration. So that's why the messaging is really important. But think about that also with the type of content creative that I'm putting out there. So it does have to be aspirational. People want to level up. That being said, the proof ads are also really important because then they can see their story through that other individual. And it really creates like that level of believability for your prospects, which then increase the likelihood of them picking up, booking appointments, showing in, and they're more pre-sold along the way. So then the third type of ad that you want to include, which will help you kind of like increase the segments in which you're hitting, but also hit the pocket of your audience at different parts for what they need, are going to be like value kind of ads of some capacity. You know, these don't want to just be like these boring ass education videos, and they honestly, they could be super long. And like you can see actually some of the ads that I run in Gym Academy, like they could be relatively damn long. But think about the conversation that your prospects are already having of the issues they're currently facing or the things that they're potentially been searching for. We can create this kind of content and put it into the ad so they're getting a lot of value from it, which increases the trust in you. And so when you do all of these combined, not only does it generally lower your cost per lead, it allows you to separate yourself from everybody else, but it massively improves your lead quality. It's not just throwing a free session or trying to throw some sort of free 6-week challenge or any of that shit out there. This is what actually makes amazing marketing, so you bring in high quality leads. Now, this is going to be extremely important, so write this down. Inside of your advertising for your gym, do not talk about your gym's features. Nobody cares. No one's reading your ad thinking about the equipment you have, the schedule you have, or the pricing. Talk about their pain, their frustrations, their goals, their desired outcomes. That is what sells. That is where your market, your prospect goes, wow, this person is speaking to me. And it's what really, really matters at the end of the day. The higher quality lead, like frankly, I can get you super cheap leads. I can get you dollar leads. And by the way, there's still a huge part is like marketer, I love love super cheap leads. But what I actually care about, what's really, really more important, is the cost per acquisition. A $6 lead that never books an appointment, shows up, or buys is useless. But if your cost per lead is 22 bucks, but then your cost per acquisition is like 50, 75, 100, even 220, if that was the case, 10%, depending on what your price point is. That's actually what matters. Because when I know my cost per acquisition, it just becomes a mathematical equation. It's like, hey, if I need to add 40 people this month and it costs me $100 to get a new client, then I need to spend $4,000 and I will get 40 new clients. It's really, really that simple. So as an example, we figured out inside of my gyms, my cost per acquisition was $67. So every $67, I acquired a brand new client. And the cool thing is all of my front end offers were like a couple $100, $500. I mean, we would every once in a while run something low, but it was always at least a break even point. I did an offer one time. This was literally an offer designed as an FU to my competition. And it was $67 for 30 days. The real kicker was it was double your money back if you weren't happy, satisfaction guaranteed. It was a really, really simple like conditional guarantee where they just had to come 12 times over the next 30 days. Like that was it. That was the offer, because we realized like, hey, let's throw a different offer that nobody has. And my competition should be like, holy shit, I don't even want to advertise because of how good they are and what they're doing. Well, I actually ran that right before COVID. So we put that out there, signed up like every single one of my locations, signed up somewhere between like 20, 40 people. And then all of a sudden the world got shut down. But here's the cool thing. I had a double your money back guarantee on that. Not a single person that joined asked for their money back. So anyway, that's the power of an offer. That's the power of also knowing your cost per acquisition. It's also the power of like just having really great ads. I would never scale a business. I would never scale a gym without having paid ads. It gives you the consistency. That's the first pillar. So pillar 2 is your organic content. This is what's going to really help you create authority. With paid ads, there's a lot of stuff that we do that helps you give authority and build trust. The organic is just going to be the next layer on top of it. And the cool thing is not only is this work somewhat as a nurture piece, but if your paid ads are bringing them in, the organic content is going to be warming them up. Because if you think about it, a lot of times you're going to have people that are going to see your ads, they're going to opt in, they're going to just go through the process of come in and they're bring a buy, they're not going to do it. But like looking into anything. But there's a big chunk of people that are going to go look at the organic content that you have out there. They're going to go look at your Facebook, they're going to look at your Instagram, maybe they'll look at your YouTube, probably look at your website as well. So that's why you want to make sure you have a really good organic strategy, because that content's what's going to make them trust you before they ever walk in your door. Now, really, really good marketing will help there. With on the paid side, this just adds another layer on top of it. And if you do it well in your local market, it's going to start bringing new leads to you. It's not just any type of content that you should be doing. And frankly, most gym content, if I was going to go take a look and I was going to do an audit of your organic and I was going to go take a look at like your social media, it's probably trash and it's actually not designed in the way that you want. Now, the cool thing is, and maybe I'm saying that a little bit direct, is when we're aware of that, we can easily fix it. So here's what we want to have. Number one, we want to have connection-based content. This connection-based content is going to be like stories from the gym, personal lessons that you have, because like people buy coaches, not coaching. So make sure they can feel the story, like the type of gym that this is, who it's for, all that. Share some behind the scenes moments as well. This will make people feel connected to you and your business and not just feel like super corporate or any of that garbage. Then some more content you want to create is proof content. This is really simple. You want to share member wins, transformations, testimonials. Like I am huge on before and afters, by the way. Share current progress, like whether screenshots, videos, all of that. This is the content that's going to sell for you without selling, because it shows real people getting real results. And then the third type of content you want to create is value content. This is going to be the tips, like the myth busters. Also, by the way, you can use this to like overcome the objections people get or anything like that, because you already know what they're going to be. But you're going to use this to give tips, myth busters, form. You can do it where it's like you can break down like actual like form or exercises, that kind of stuff, or give specific advice for your type of client, whether it's like fat loss, weight loss, increasing energy, being strong over 40, dealing with menopause, like all that kind of stuff. This is where you can really give a lot of that value specifically to your ideal client. And the reason that we want to have this type of content is it's going to position you as the expert. So what we noticed with our clients, we started making some shifts just in the advertising side, like the paid ad side, a little over a year ago, because we noticed some of the changes that were happening. And then finally, some other people are finally catching up to it. But that immediately increased like the leads that we're actually picking up, booking appointments, showing up, and being more pre-sold because of the type of content that we're using inside of our advertising. Then we noticed that when we had clients come in that were actually then really dialing in their organic, their paid just worked like crazy, like changing nothing in their ads, but making killer organic content just made them work 10 times better. We have a team member on staff. She's an absolute savage. Like she is who I go to and I'm like, yo, like give us some solid ass organic stuff. She coaches organic inside of our community, but her first location location went 0 to 60 grand a month, even though she only spent 2,500 like total in that first year on ads, because her ads were fire. So whenever she ran it, they absolutely murdered. Her organic was super good, but also she followed a couple of the other layers that we teach inside of the academy that I'm not going to get into in this video that allowed her to really maximize her growth. Now, I share that because you should be creating organic content, but now you're probably wondering like, how do we do it? And frankly, post every single day. If you're going from nothing to that, like that might be hard. So at least start with like 3 times a week, but then you want to get up to where you're doing every single day. And then eventually, you're posting a video every single day. Then you're sharing some testimonials and you're sharing, proof every single day. That's what you want to do, is just the more somebody can see your stuff and they can go to your page and they see like the client successes, that's what's going to be helpful for you. Now, if you don't have a lot of successes yet, not a problem. When you put like pillar 1 with the paid ads, that's what's going to shoot it up for you so that you'll be able to start getting those results. So then it's like, cool, if I don't have a lot of results, you can share your personal story. You can share what little clients that you do have, their transformations, but you can still give other value based on the other pillars of this content. But you do want to share. So you always, every single new client you want to get, you want to be able to document their journey, their transformation, the outcomes they got. And you can easily do it without like blowing up their identity or something like that if they're uncomfortable sharing it. So make sure that every single day you're either doing some level of connection content, you're doing some level of proof content, and some level of value-based content. And then as you consistently get better, then you can layer that up. And I'm not even talking about like your stories and any of that stuff. Share success in stories. Put a bunch of offers in your stories, by the way, a little hack to be able to get clients from your organic. Anyway, let's move on to the third pillar, which frankly, most gyms either go all in on or completely ignore. And it is relatively underrated, but I'm going to be transparent. It's not something that I did a ton inside of my gyms to scale, but I am seeing inside of our community working very, very well for our clients. What am I sharing? Like, we have a client, he just absolutely blows up his gyms by actually doing this. So the third pillar is community and partnerships. Because I'm actually relatively introverted, I did do this in the beginning because I also had no other way. When you lack resources, you got to become resourceful. So I would literally go out there into the community, try and create a bunch of those relationships, create partnerships. But then eventually when I figured out pillar 1 and 2, like I completely stopped doing this, just as a heads up. But I also was able to get a bunch of like those things coming in just regardless because of the brand I built. That being said, I want to make sure that you're getting value. You may not be there yet, and that's totally cool. And we have clients, like I just said, who is able, due to his partnerships and being able to put on events in his community, are absolutely able to blow up. We have another client that he's a semi-private gym that just absolutely crushes it with referral partnerships with physical therapists. So it's absolutely great. Like if I have all these things, I can still go out in the community. But as I mentioned earlier, I never finished that and closed that off. I'm relatively introverted. So reality is I don't like going out there. I like people coming to me. So that's just how I am. So I lean into this, but you should be able to do all of these. Now, if we think about it, if I'm getting the volume from paid ads, if I'm then getting that really good quality from my organic or it's warming them up, think about like partnerships, because it's coming from a trusted source. It's going to just be stupid quality. Like these are warm leads that are going to be coming to you because whoever's sending them over or you're doing something in connection with, they're already trusted. So they're going to convert faster. Generally speaking, like people that seek you out, they're going to stay longer. They come in here, because of like a sister relationship or anything like that. So you have a higher lifetime value with partnerships, but that's also just like quality of product, by the way. But the cool thing is, generally speaking, they cost you absolutely nothing generally in order to get. So if you want to be able to then have partnerships and get inside of the community to start generating these kind of warm leads, here's 4 partnership categories that you can go ahead and use to start getting leads on a monthly basis. Number 1, professional service partners. These could be like physios, chiropractors, massage therapists, really anybody who already works with your type of client. We had one who was since I was like a strength training gym in the beginning, we worked with a lot of jiu-jitsu studio who sent over a ton of people. In fact, it was actually where I got my first ever intern and employee. But go find where like the people already have your clients and then go create a relationship with them. Number 2 is other local business partners, cafes, barbershops, hair salons, like stores that your clients would be at, real estate places. These are ones that like, one, they could actually, like the people that work there that own those businesses could also be great clients for yourself. They also then have your potential clients coming in, and you can do stuff like back and forth to create these referral like relationships. So that could be a really good stream of getting referrals for you. The third category that you can also do is going to be like schools and sports teams. I also did this in the beginning. I started as like strength training, working with athletes in the very beginning. We then transitioned more into weight loss and fat loss. But how I got some of my first ever clients was I just straight up cold emailed every single coach. So I would just go to a school, find the teams, or go to like a local sporting program, find the coach, get their emails and email them them and invite them into my gym. It's literally how I got a huge chunk of my initial clients, by the way. The cool thing is, like, I had a couple of them who stay with me. So like everything in this category is stuff I did very, very early on before I really dialed in one. And then once I got one dialed in, then I got two dialed in. But these are a great source. They're just not generally going to give you the highest volume, but like certain times a year, they could give you a really big influx or just like a consistent trickle all the time, which is, again, it's nice to have multiple sources. This also just gets you big into the community, which can help you build kind of like that brand over time anyway. And then the fourth category, which a lot of studios do, is like community events. These could be free seminars. These could be charity classes. Like we did do those a ton and it was absolutely huge. Like our community loved it, did bring us in a bunch of like first timers at that time. You could do stuff like mobility workshops or even like nutrition workshops or nutrition events. So not only will they build goodwill, like especially with your clients, it's a really easy way to get some people to come in with like kind of low risk. Like, hey, they're getting a little bit of value and then you can kind of give them that value. And then eventually it's like, hey, do you want to, you can hit them with an offer at the very end. But it adds just another like couple things that you could do on like a monthly basis to then generate other ways for people to come inside of your business. I wish I could go find the emails that I would use when I was doing these outreaches. And I didn't do like high volume cold email on this, but it was usually just like, I would either straight up get in my car, drive around and knock on a door and just be like, hey, it's me from my gym. This is who we help. How can I help you? And then I'll like go in there that way or invite them. And I'll just be like, hey, I'd love to invite you into my business. And here's this free session, free week, free month, like something just really stupid to get them in and then just have a conversation. So when you're doing the cold email, you can just be like, hey, I'm hosting this workshop that does this thing for that person. It's on this date at this time. And usually I pick a time that works. Or you can even just make it more open-ended. Is this something that your team would be interested in? Question mark, and then wait for the respond. And then you could do it. That's a simple way to do that. If I'm like outreaching, let's say like a sports team. Another thing you could do is like inside of my gyms, we would like host little events or we'd put them maybe even in internal challenges. That's a great way to then go into like other businesses inside of your community and get them involved because now it's me trying to give them business instead of me asking for them. Like most people think about it as take. Instead of be like, hey, I'm hosting this charity workout or hey, I'm hosting this internal challenge that I want to give prizes away at the end. I'd love to be able to kind of connect you in this or have you involved. Is there anything that like you'd like to donate for our winners to get you in? Or, you know, would you like to come in and be involved? Like that kind of stuff is a really simple way to do that, to get that community involvement with a lot of local businesses as well. But generally speaking, all of these are just really simple. Do not be sleazy. Generally, I like to just get my foot in the door, starts with a conversation, and then I can convert from there. Now, you have all three of these. You're going to have an absolutely predictable lead gen machine for your gym or studio. So let's kind of put it together and let me give you just a simple play that you can do that will just give you a huge surge of leads in just 48 hours. This is going to be the fastest way for you to generate leads right now this week. Step one, I want you to just start posting client wins. If you got 5 client wins that you can post today, fantastic. Go ahead and put it. If it's a bunch of before and afters, it's a bunch of scale victories, non-scale victories, whatever like the outcome that you can share, even if it's stacking testimonials, just start posting them throughout the day. That's going to be step one. Step two, go ahead and if you haven't yet, launch an ad. Go into Meta and launch an ad on Facebook and Instagram, set it up to a simple lead form, have an absolutely strong, ridiculous offer, and then just put a radius around your gym within the 5, 7, 10 mile radius, depending on the type of market that you're in. And don't be afraid to put some money behind it. I would say recommended like low end $50, but spend $100, $150, $200 a day, depending on the market that you're in. Step three, get your entire list from your ex-clients to just, if you have a huge list, get that together and then go ahead and hit them with the same exact offer you just put into your ads. Now, I like to do this as more conversational. So I place the offer out there and then I want to get them to respond to the message so that I can have a conversation because I believe conversations lead to conversions. You do this and you'll get leads in like the next couple hours. In the next 48 hours, you'll have a whole stack that you get to play with. Let's go ahead and just kind of recap and pull this all together. Number one, use paid ads for predictable lead volume. 2, use organic content so that you can go ahead and build that authority, trust, as well as you can start generating leads. Then number 3, go ahead and use partnerships to go and create some high quality local leads and local relationships. And then finally, number 4, go ahead and put together the play that we just went over to generate leads right away and fill yourself with a handful of leads in the next 24 to 48 hours. But if you do everything that we just covered inside of this video in the next 30 days, you will be completely filled with leads for your gym or studio. Now, here's the thing. Everything that I just shared today, it's simple, it's proven, it's 100% doable on your own. But if you want help implementing this so you can get the exact ad templates, the content scripts, how to actually go ahead and reach out to any sort of partnerships and what type of partnerships that you should go ahead, what your nurture process should be. What you should then do is when you get all these leads, how do you actually get them to come in? How do you then actually sell them without being sleazy using our no selling sales system? Well, that's exactly what we do inside of Gym Academy. And you can go ahead and apply and book a call to talk to one of my team members by just going into the description of this video and then filling out the application. But either way, you now have a full lead gen roadmap to go ahead and fill your gym with a boatload of leads in the next 30 days, but then also every single month after that. But frankly, the only question left is just, are you actually going to execute? Are you actually going to follow through in what's inside of this video? That's it. You do that, and you're never gonna have to worry about where your next lead's coming from again. Hope this was helpful. If it was, go ahead, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We drop new videos every single week. And also go ahead and share this with a gym or studio owner that you know that could benefit from this. Peace.